Hello everyone, it's me, Psychic Emma. I thought I would just do a little about me segment. So I have been psychic all my life. I do believe I was essentially born that way. My earliest psychic memory is from when I was 4 years old, and I saw three beings standing over my bed as I was having a nap, and they told me, "Don't worry, you'll be okay." And I always wondered about that for the rest of my life. And it was only in the last few years that it finally made sense to me that everything that happened in between that experience when I was 4 and up until recently, it was all just leading me here to this moment. And we all have our life hardships and everything. But like they said, it's going to be okay. And that has just stuck with me for the rest of my life. And I always remind myself when I'm going through a difficult time, which is human nature, it happens, there's no such thing as perfect. I always remind myself, this is just a moment in time, I am going to be okay, because that's what they told me. So I guess you can see that as a message for yourself as well. So amongst those experiences, I've also played catch with myself from another dimension. I think I was 6 at the time. I also used to dream the future. I used to have the most bizarre experiences. Like, if I was in a certain frame of mind, I'd be standing with my friends, say, by the side of a road, say we're waiting for our lift to come when we were young. And then I'd be like, a white car is going to turn left over there and then park in that spot over there. And then they'd be like, no, they're not, there's a car there. And I'm like, no, the car will move. Watch, that yellow car, it's going to move. And then everything would play out exactly as I said. So that was my party trick, if we can call it that. Yeah. Other interesting experiences, the most recent interesting one. So I'm only telling you about my natural experiences. If you would like to find out more about my clients' experiences that they've had of me, please feel free to visit my Google Maps entry and click on Google Reviews, or you can go to Google Reviews on my website, happylight.co.za. So a recent experience I had was watching my friend fire dancing on the beach. And every time she turned around, I saw the flower of life on her back. And I was like, what am I seeing? What is that? Like, am I imagining things? Because sometimes, when you're psychic, you're not always sure what's real and what isn't. Because it's a crazy world. So after she was done dancing and she came to join us, I said to her, while you were dancing, I saw the flower of life on your back. It's like, what does it mean? And she was like, no ways. So she had been designing a flower of life tattoo that very day and the day before. She said she'd spent 2 days trying to figure out the tattoo and what she's going to do and where she's going to put it on her back. And then she asked me, how big was it? And I'm like, well, it went across the whole of your back. And she was like, wow, that's exactly what she wanted. So yes, that's really exciting. So that's something that's happening. I know it will look nice because I've already seen it. Anyway, so other psychic abilities I have are, let me think. I see people who've passed on. That's always been very, very interesting. I remember watching the Long Island Medium and then wondering if I could do it too. So then I started walking around to my friends and going, can I see if there's anyone around you maybe that you'd be interested in chatting to who's passed on? And everyone was like mostly going, yeah, cool, like let's do this. And it turns out I was really accurate. So all these random people I'd been seeing, I would drive my car and then my car would be full of random people and I'd just be like, okay, this is weird. And walking down the road and people would be like, hello, hello. But nobody else can see these people, just me. And I'd be like, hello. So the medium side of things has been very interesting, but I'm glad that I finally know what's going on and that I can tell the difference between someone's guides, loved ones who've passed on, spirits, all that sort of stuff. The beings of light, that's what I call them. So the beings of light is an interesting topic as well. I see color, and I'd always assumed it was synesthesia, which is basically like a number can be a taste or a month can be a color, like people just have these perceptions. And I thought I had that because I was seeing colors everywhere, and in certain experiences, like if someone hugged me, it would be a purple hug, and then I'd be like, oh, I have synesthesia. Turns out I was just really psychic in another way as well. So basically, if someone hugged me and everything went purple, depending on the shade of purple, it has a different meaning. So with the one friend, she hugged me hello, and I saw a deep shade of purple, and by then I had already realized it's can be synesthesia, but it's also a psychic experience. And psychically, the shade of purple meant that she was busy going through a process of unblocking herself, working her way through a mental block. So I asked her about it. I mean, obviously, my friends know they're going to get freebies, and sometimes I can't help it, and I do just see stuff, and then I'll mention it to them. But mostly just that, if I'm not working, I'm not engaged, and I do try not to read people as a respect thing. Yeah. So socially, I'm mostly like, woo. But anyway, so this friend hugged me. I saw purple. I spoke to her about it, and she said that's exactly what she's going through. So that's how that works. Yeah. And then I also see numbers. And now, just to clarify, I don't do lotto predictions, that sort of thing. I don't do lucky numbers. But what I do or see is numbers. So I remember once a client was asking me, when is she going to get a job? And I said, well, I see the number 3. Don't know what it means. Feels like March. Could be wrong, but I see the number 3. And the number 3, months later, she told me was spot on, because it was at the end of March, which is the number 3, that the company had decided that they would hire her. And then they let her know in the beginning of April. So then she was like, the number 3 came true. And I was like, yay! Have a lovely day further. And remember to visit my website, happylight.co.za, or you can also like and follow to be alerted for more free card for the days. Okay, bye.